Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
To the west of the great continent of Kern lies the island provinces of Perth, home to brave seafarers, exotic pleasures, storms of swirling magical energy, and cults dedicated to the old gods. Upon these white sands came the Eve's Watch, a band of sellswords and brutes seeking their fortune upon the shores of these lands. Let me tell you of this age of legends, for I and I alone am keeper of their saga. This is their chronicle.
You're incredibly refreshed. Best sleep of your life. It's late in the day.
As they all finally wake up and say, "What the fuck, guys?"
Dude, I had the best dreams. Why didn't you wake me up for watch?
I did.
Well, I just woke up, so you didn't do it very well. Man, my back hurts a little, though.
Because I put my knee in it to try to wake you up.
Dude.
Ku is just going to be silent. He's going to pack up his stuff and sit there and just wait, head down, and not say anything to anyone. Even if they address him, he's not going to talk.
It's awful late in the day.
You slept through the night.
Did anyone have a messed up dream?
No.
You were awake all night, Jeel. You're exhausted.
I had a dream about when I met all you guys. And some stuff earlier than that.
So did I. I dreamed about my childhood.
Shynn looks up, and there are slightly pink streaks running down both cheeks. And he stares at the flowers, takes one out, kisses it, says "Mother," puts it in his backpack, and begins pestle and mortaring all the rest as more and more red streaks come down his face.
I'll take that as a yes. I did as well.
Can Tuco roll a perception to, I don't even know, insight something to see whether he kind of puts A and B together, that if we all slept all night and you tried to wake us all up, that sounds like poison.
Be insight, I think.
Insight, investigation.
I think they're all terribly bad for me either way, so investigation +1, insight. Oh, insight +3. I'll roll it. It's a 3 anyway, so I just feel great. I was like, oh, what a great night.
Shynn doesn't look as ashy. He almost looks like a normal skin tone. Not quite, but almost a normal tone.
Sleep looks good on you, my friend.
It's the first time in 15 years. Something strange went on.
That's for certain.
What you doing with those flowers over there?
Starting a perfume. That was my original goal. I didn't realize they were my mother's favorites until last night.
Oh, that's great. You remember they're your mother's favorite.
Now you know why I want to forget. I don't want to remember my mother.
Oh, why not?
I'm going to pack up my gear. They're all ready.
Did you dream about your mom?
Memories of your family should be wonderful, all of them. And they all are, except for the visions.
Say more.
Does this tie back to the lady in red?
Oh, right, you have
Beyond
visions.
the lady in red, there are hundreds of people in red that haunt me.
Sorry, dude. That sounds terrible.
And I try my best to forget which ones are my family.
But we're your family now.
You are more than my family now. You are my family by choice, not my family by production.
Same thing.
Jeel, ever the sympathetic.
Well, he has a point, though. I mean, it's not the family we were born into, but it's the family that
We'll probably die with.
life brought us.
Or that didn't exile you.
Well, Shynn, if you ever want to talk about it, I'd be happy to listen.
Someday. Now I have to sort this out.
We've lost a lot of time. We need to get going.
I agree.
We'll walk over to Ku, extend a hand. Come on, little brother.
Ku will get up and not take the hand and just walk to the front, silent, head down.
Jeel, maybe you shouldn't take front today. You look exhausted.
I'm fucking tired.
Well, we'll try to help you a little.
I'm going to lay on hands, get 5 points, which will negate his exhaustion for at least 8 hours.
I would gladly take it.
And then hand him one of the refreshing fruit drinks that I'd been squirreled away.
And I'll drink that one right now.
Have some fruit. It's got a lot of sugar. Don't forget the stool softener.
I'm fine. I don't need it.
From a game perspective, or rules perspective, I don't think you can heal away exhaustion in this game. I'm pretty sure you have to rest.
Oh, is that?
Pretty sure. Yeah, exhaustion, I think you have to get a long rest.
Yeah, but does exhaustion start in this game before day 3 being awake?
Yes, if you don't get a long rest in, you are exhausted level 1.
Yep.
Which does what?
Check it out.
I think I get I'm a disadvantage. I think almost everything. It's day 6 you got to worry about.
Yeah, that'll kill you.
Yep.
Exhaust some special abilities and environmental hazards, such as starvation and long-term effects of freezing or scorching temperatures, can lead to a special condition called exhaustion. Exhaustion is measured in 6 levels. An effect can give a creature 1 or more level of exhaustion as specified in the effect's description. So it does not seem to include staying awake for a long time.
I was pretty sure if you didn't. I feel like somewhere in the book it says if you don't get a long rest,
You're supposed to have a long rest.
you
Notice-
correct. If you don't have a long rest, you are exhausted. And exhaustion level 1 is disadvantage on ability checks. So that would be Jeel's only penalty at this point. Any ability check would be at disadvantage.
What's level 2 and 3 and 4 and 5? Well, we know what 6 is.
Level 2 is speed halved. Level 3, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Level 4, hit point maximum halved. Level 5, speed reduced to 0. Level 6, death.
Fortunately, it's only been 1 day.
Finishing a long rest reduces a creature's exhaustion level by 1, provided the creature has also ingested food and drink.
Double up on stool softener and hardtack tonight.
According to Stack Exchange, there's not a written rule on applying levels of exhaustion to characters who neglect or are unable to sleep.
Well,
That's Stack Exchange.
that is up to the GM then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a GM's call at this point, Scott.
Lou, take 5 levels of exhaustion.
Guess I'm not going anywhere.
I ain't carrying him.
So back at it. Same marching order, different marching order.
Probably not put the exhausted guy in front.
I'll follow right behind Koo.
We should put Jeel in the middle.
Tuco will take tail.
Who's carrying the directional orb?
I think I had it last because I was leading last.
Okay, so you keep it?
Yeah,
All right.
I have it. So Koo's out in front, so I'll go right behind him and the
You're
direct is
taking our
necessary.
rear guard to go?
I'll take rear guard.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put Jeel in the middle, and then myself, and then Shynn.
And off we go.
You refresh yourself in the brook, fill your water skins, and begin your northeast journey. The jungle grows very dense for the first half of the day, and then opens up into wide fields, then a cliff face. As you're making your way along the cliff face, late afternoon, you see that familiar dark shape circling above you. It dips into the clouds and disappears.
That freaking thing. Is there any way you think we could trap it? Could we lure it in? It'd be nice to not have him know our exact position at every moment.
It's had more than enough opportunities, and I think it's already taken the few that it had. Now it just plans on staying away and watching. It's a couple hundred feet up there, but there's nothing we can do. If it comes down towards the ground, I'll take a shot at it.
If it's only a couple hundred feet away, we would be able to, ones of us with bows might be able to hit it, provoke it to come down.
Yeah, if it draws close enough.
Ku will take out his bow, knock an arrow, and fire a shot.
So you'll be at, well, how far away is it?
That's a natural one. Once it comes within range, once it comes within a reasonable range, he'll take a shot at it.
Yeah, because if it's beyond 80 feet from you, you'll be at disadvantage on your attack roll.
Okay. Well, the first one was a natural one, so the halfling lucky feat to reroll. And that would be a 15.
A 15 will miss. Might have been a little bit higher than you thought. Your arrow flies upward and then begins a downward trajectory, missing the creature as it dips into some cloud cover.
But at least now it knows that we know it's there and we are aware.
About 45 minutes, perhaps an hour later, the thing reappears. And 2 sizable rocks are dropped amongst your company, cracking as they hit the trail along the cliff face.
Describe sizable.
Sizable would be the size of a basketball or soccer ball.
Well, that piece of garbage. I wanted to kill it before. Now I really want to kill it.
And if I see it come within range again, I'm going to keep my short bow out and have an arrow knocked. I'm going to take another shot at it.
Now that Tuco's seen Ku doing it, he's like, that's a good idea.
And then moments later, more rocks fall amongst the party.
Well, fortunately, he's so high up, we can see the rocks falling and hopefully get out of the way.
They land harmlessly. Some miss the trail entirely, but they're close enough to make you nervous.
Does he ever come back within range?
Well, not for nothing, but you're lobbing one arrow up there at a time, and they can lob as many rocks as it wants from even higher up, so I don't think provoking it at this point is probably a good idea.
How about we set a trap then?
What's
How about we send Shynn up a tree?
No. We're in a field.
That's called bait, not a trap.
A trap needs bait.
I'm going to go stand out in the middle of the field and try and provoke him to come down.
Why don't we put a rope around your feet? Have her go to the group. That way, if he goes to
That's a
pull
good
you up,
idea. In case he
you
snags
can't
you.
go. You can't fly away.
Why around my feet and not around my waist?
Waist would probably be better.
Here it comes. Whatever.
If that works.
And then we can have people lay in wait if it comes down.
Yeah, I mean, how close are we to the trees? It'd be better if we were off in the trees where we could actually hide, because we can't hide out here from it.
Lovak's pretty good with a net. I saw him with those mosquitoes.
Well, aren't a couple of you able to make others or yourselves invisible?
I was just about to suggest the same thing.
Yes.
Lovak and
Yes.
so can Shynn.
So Tuco's capable of ranged. Mule's capable of ranged.
I have ranged spells as well.
You have ranged spells as well. Jeel is not, and Jeel would be an excellent person to have invisible near me.
Try to ride it.
Sounds like a possibility.
Is there anybody else who's not good at ranged? Because I can do 2 at once.
2 spells.
2 people.
Well, the other one I was thinking was maybe Lovak.
Or Tuco. Because if Tuco is invisible, he gets advantage on his attack roll.
That's
And my
very
damage
true.
is pretty decent.
Yeah, Tuco would be a good one to have. Also invisible near me.
Maybe knock that poison arrow.
Plus 2 strong guys. Yeah, we could bring that bird down.
Maybe knock that poison arrow, so even if you hit it and
Yeah.
it gets away, it still suffers.
Once we're ready, Ku, along with an invisible Jeel and an invisible
Oh, no.
Tuco.
No. Invisibility only lasts a minute. They can't be invisible beforehand.
Invisibility lasts an
You
hour.
have to taunt him first time, and then we make him invisible and let
Invisible
them run.
lasts an hour.
Invisibility lasts an hour with your concentration.
Oh, that's changed? No, 10 minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Is that how long it takes to cast?
No, it takes touch to cast.
That's the range,
I didn't
not the
think it was an
duration.
hour.
We've already discovered one discrepancy between
yeah.
2 sources.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yep.
Casting time, 1 action, range, touch, duration, concentration up to 1 hour.
Even better.
Ku will, with a rope around his waist, maybe going down his pant leg, and then tied to a tree or whatever.
We could just tie it to Jeel.
Tied who's going to be right next to me. And that way the rope's less visible. And go stand out in the field, look around, like waiting for it.
I'd limp. Pretend you're hurt.
Good point.
Yeah, wounded animal.
You come across the mountain pathway on the cliff face, becomes narrow and then begins to gradually broaden.
Oh, we were going to do this in the field.
We left the field.
You left.
Oh, we left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You look like easier pickings on the cliff face.
And as you round the bend, you see another broad open field and a small stone hut, much like the old abandoned farm you were at days ago. The forest looks like it had been hacked away years ago and cleared for farming, and there is a broad field with wild flowers, some gourds growing wildly throughout the field. The tree line has begun to encroach upon the field, but has not overtaken it.
As Ku makes his way out into the field, he's going to be limping and clutching his rib and half bent over, feigning signs of injury.
And he would walk out alone with 2 invisible, and the others would never exit the tree line. Is that right?
Correct.
We got to get out and stake him down, though.
Tied rope to my leg.
Good plan. I like it.
Yeah, tie the rope, then make him invisible. Then you can't see anything.
Jeel and Tuco are invisible. The rope is still visible, tied around Jeel's leg. So it looks like it's hovering.
No.
It wouldn't be.
It's wrapped around Ku's waist and then goes down his pants, out his down his breeches, out his ankle, and wraps around Jeel's ankle.
Ankle.
Yeah, so in the grass, it would
I
be visible.
see. So you can't see the rope then, if it's tied around the ankle. You wait, clutching your side, limping out into the field.
Occasionally falling to a knee.
Mule, Shynn, and Lovak lay in wait in the tree belt for the ambush.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like if a group of bartenders traded in their shakers for sets of dice? Well, now you don't have to. Bartenders is a D&D podcast where a group of bartenders put liquids in cups, talk about their experiences in the hospitality industry, and their life behind bars. Join us every Monday on your favorite podcasting network for a new episode of Bartenders. Well, what are you waiting for? Pull up a seat at the bar and let us mix you a drink. Cheers.
In time, Tuco and Jeel see this familiar black shape circling far above Ku, and then it disappears a moment. You hear the rush of wind Jeel and Tuco, you see the thing coming in much like a hawk, ready to snatch a rabbit out of a field, and it is evident that it is aiming straight for Ku.
I wind up.
As it passes by, I cast Hunter's Mark.
Tuco would like to release his arrow before anybody else swings at it. Is this
It's unaware, so you'd have advantage.
approach? Does this count as part of its action in combat, or it won't enter combat round until it actually touches him? Will it?
Right, won't enter combat. Before that.
Oh, so I have
Well,
advantage.
right, but you could take first action to
And then I
force,
get
to
the
force the
assassinate.
combat initiative.
The natural one is not going to work that well. Fuck.
That's better.
It's better, but it's 7 plus 6 is.
13.
Does a 13 hit it?
No.
And the moment I release my arrow,
Everybody
I am now
become
visible. But I was at least 10 feet away from him because I thought I was going to have to shoot at him. So I kept range, so I wasn't at a disadvantage. So I'm not standing right next to him, but I'm pretty freaking close.
Tuco releases an arrow, instantly becomes visible, and the arrow whizzes over the shoulder of the creature as it's coming in to snatch up Ku.
I have a question. What is that they call it when the GM gives you
Inspiration.
inspiration? I got that first day and never used it. Does it expire at the end of the day?
No.
So I could use that inspiration here?
Can't you? What does inspiration allow you? Does it allow you to reroll?
Yep, it allows you to re-roll.
Okay.
Reroll both or one?
Gian.
One. Well, it's better than nothing, right? Fuck me.
Only slightly better than nothing.
11. Okay.
Initiatives.
Cool.
Ku has an 8.
Lovak.
16.
Oh, yay. I have a 5. Tuco has a 5. Shynn.
19.
Mule.
17.
Will you please bless Marcus's dice?
Jeel. A 3 total.
There we go.
And GM.
6.
6.
Shit initiatives all around.
3 and 6. So the 19 for Shynn is the first.
Shynn is holding attack until Jeel appears.
17 for Mule.
I'm going to hold my spell until he tries to make a grab for Ku.
16 for Lovak.
17's me.
Oh, Mule.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. He said something and I didn't realize.
I mean, once
Unless,
he's-
as I think he's going to, I have 120 foot range on this spell, so, but I think he's going to get out of range, then I will cast it anyways, but I want to see if he makes the pass at the bait first.
He's coming in to grab it.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'll loose the spell.
Yeah,
If I see the claws come down, and I know for a
it's
fact.
not your, it's not your
Oh,
Oh,
turn.
that's right, yours. I'm sorry, I thought it was before you.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
around.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till he's close, then say 40 feet or so. I'm gonna cast sleep on him.
Okay.
We're gonna try that. It's a gamble.
How many
but
D8 are you up to now?
9.
9 D8.
Yep.
All 6 and above.
You keep that 7.
It's 44 hit points worth. Does he have more than 44 hit points? Okay.
He swoops in as the magical waves pass over him and lets out an ear-piercing shriek.
Lovak.
All right, I'm going to loosen my spell, Guiding Bolt. I have advantage on this roll, and that's a 15.
A 15 is a miss.
Who is next?
Ku is going to draw his dagger and hold action, waiting for it to actually make contact.
GM is next.
The creature swoops in, striking Ku with an 18.
Can I deflect missile?
Claws bite into your shoulder. You take 8 points of damage and begin to be carried aloft.
Except
Except,
I have a rope tied around me that's tied around Jeel.
yes, that's going to be quite a load to bear.
And once it makes contact, then Ku will use his attack and will slash at the creature with his dagger. That'll be a 14.
14 miss.
Then he will spend a key point to do a flurry of blows. 15.
15 will miss. So Ku is snatched. He slashes at the creature with his dagger awkwardly and misses, and then begins to beat fiercely upon the leg that has him grasped. He's being pulled aloft.
Well, question: Did it leave my space? Because since I was standing next to him.
You have advantage. Going
opportunity.
reckless.
Yep. 19
19 will hit.
for 10.
A maul appears, and then a giant attached to it slowly appears as it's being swung through the air, striking
No.
the creature. This was an attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity.
Oh, gotcha.
Creature shrieks again and begins an upward ascent. Frantic beating of the wings. The claws get a little tighter
This
around
hurts.
your shoulder.
And Ku starts kind of crying in pain a bit.
And this
Maybe this
triggers
was
my
a good idea after all.
held action.
Oh, okay. You were held as well.
Jeel appeared. So there's a crossbow bolt going into the thing.
Okay, roll.
Ooh, 18?
18 hits.
Would he have initiative because he's unseen to the creature?
Would he have
Advantage.
Oh, advantage. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Roll
Go ahead,
it-
make,
roll it
make
again.
another
Roll
roll.
again.
You
It
might
could
get
be
a
an
nat 20.
That's right. Always worth it.
Nope, same exact roll. And that's only a 4.
Plus your dexterity modifier.
That's 6.
A crossbow bolt from the tree line, barely missing your ear, slams into the creature's thigh. There is another shriek of pain, but it refuses to release its grip on its prey and begins its upward ascent. How long is the rope?
It's short because it was just around my waist, down my pant leg, and attached to Jeel, so maybe 5 or 6 feet at most.
Tuco releases an arrow. Man, he's having a bad day. I don't think a 10 is going to hit.
Is your bow upside down?
Maybe. Maybe. It might be. Jeel is up.
So since it could really only get 5 or 6 feet from my footing, it's still in range to attack.
Yes,
I'm going to reckless attack. AC 24
that'll hit.
for 7. My second attack. 22
That'll hit.
for another 10.
Jeel swings his maul, landing a blow squarely on its chest, not once, but twice, and knocks it down from its ascent.
Would you say it's been knocked prone?
No.
And it still has a firm grasp on Ku's shoulder.
Yes. There is a fierce beating of wings and shrieks from the creature. In pain, perhaps in frustration, it still has not released its grip on Ku.
Mechanics question. When you hold your action, do you move your initiative to the place which you were
Yes.
held your action till? So your new initiative is with his, right? Or with mine. You went right in front of me. So you'd be we'll call it a 6.
Now I have a question. I still have movement left.
Correct.
Could I jump for its legs and interact and try to grab
That'd be
it?
grapple.
That would be
That'd
a
be a
grapple.
grapple,
That'd be a
okay.
grapple.
My initiative moves to the GMs.
So you're also at a 6. Okay. Who is at a 6? So we go back to the top of the order. 17, you lay.
I'll summon my arcane energies and 2 other blasts to the creature. And that's a 16 and a 13.
The arcane energy whizzes by the creature, dissipating.
16 is Lovak?
How close is it to the wood line where we were originally hiding?
You tell me. This is your plan. Do you want Ku within a full 30-foot movement area? Or do you...
Initially, yes. We didn't want him out of spell range, but we also wanted to close down where we can get to him if we needed to.
Yeah, well, it's moving up now, so it's still right where Ku was. If it was that within that 30 feet, it's not moving across anymore. It's now making or attempting to make an upward ascent.
And I'll close the 30 feet, drawing both my swords as I do, and make him attacks. Both swords. That's going to be a 20 and a 16.
The 20 will hit. Is that an at 20?
It is not,
Dirty
sir.
one.
And that's going to be for 11 points damage.
Did you make your offhand attack as well?
Yes.
You did 3 attacks. Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't make an offhand attack. I just used both weapons. I have one weapon in each hand.
One is your main hand and the
One
other
is
Yeah,
your
one's my hand, one is my offhand.
Correct. So it makes it You've got the 2-weapon
Two-
fighter.
yes.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't actually matter
It doesn't
which one you
matter
hit
to me.
with. Okay.
Yes, I got my bonuses on both swings.
Lovak bursts from the tree line, drawing his sword as he races out to Ku's aid and slashes the creature on one of its wings. The creature bellows this time and then begins its shrieks anew, those claws growing ever tighter around Ku's shoulder.
We have 3 6s, GM, Ku, and Shynn.
I'll go at the end.
You sure?
Yeah,
Positive?
positive.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right.
Was that another leading question, Frank?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I figured, yeah.
So Ku is going to swing up at the creature with his dagger. That'll be a 25.
25 will hit.
I'm going to spend a key point to do... Nope, that's a dagger strike. It's not that. I can't spend a key point for that. We get sneak attack, and ooh, max damage. That'll be 14 points of damage. And then he's going to spend a key point for another flurry of blows. I have a dirty 20 and a 23.
Also hit.
On one of these strikes, he's going to spend a key point for Hand of Harm to do an additional d4 plus 2 of damage. It'll be necrotic damage.
It's a lot of mathing.
12 points of damage.
Who plunges a dagger into it and then begins to fiercely beat the thighs, belly, and pelvic region of the creature with his bare hands. The creature begins thrashing about wildly, shrieking the whole while.
That's going to be causing me some pain and injury.
Yes.
Any
And
damage you want to give me for that?
I would love to give you some damage, Frank.
Here come all those ones.
You take 4 points of damage.
Shynn is up.
Shynn will step out of the wood line and firebolt this wonderful flying creature that I hate so much and spend the point to twin it at the same time. 14.
14 will miss.
That's the highest.
Bolts of magical energy go whizzing by you. Ku, you'd swear for a moment you were going to get hit by one of them. The creature lets go of Ku, dropping you to the ground, and begins to beat its wings, ascending.
Does Ku get an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Flies out of his reach.
Well, I think everybody,
Jeel would as well.
Lovak,
Lovak,
Ku.
Yep, all three of you.
Do you have a...
Nope.
You have a...
I'm over
Yeah,
10 feet
he's
away.
not- yeah.
I kept distance.
None for me.
Jeel's going to try to grapple it, bring it down. Grab its leg. 21.
21 will hit.
Post grapple.
Nat 20.
Oh, you bet. you guys are jumping it.
18 points damage. I can't burn a bonus action on attack of opportunity, can I?
No.
I don't think I could.
No,
Yeah.
you can
What
it's
did,
a reaction.
what did you roll again?
21.
Oh. The thing begins to ascend, almost out of range. Lovak jumps up, slams the blade of his long sword into it, knocking it back down as Jeel tackles it. And now Jeel and this thing are rolling around. There's this wide open wound on the back of it. Jeel's got it hemmed up in some awkward full Nelson with his big meaty thighs wrapped around it. How much damage did Lovak do?
18 points.
Lovak and Jeel have effectively jumped the demon of Mahz'Shapour.
Don't come to our neighborhood.
And it looks like a mugging taking place. The thing slashes and thrashes about fiercely, but is unable to.
I'm still tied to him.
And
Dragged in.
By the aforementioned short rope.
Short rope, yes.
yes, but is unable to grab purchase to anything. It's clawing at the dirt. While this grappling match is going on, Ku is being dragged about by the rope still attached to his waist. Your shoulder is now bleeding profusely.
Just give us your iPhone and we'll leave you alone.
I want those sneakers.
Next, yes.
Yes.
Tuco drops his bow, pulls his rapier, runs forward, hands overhead with rapier, chest puffed out, and brings it down as hard as he can on the creature. Hopefully. The creature. Rolled a 19 plus 6.
It's prone. So if you want to roll another die for
Not technically, unless you want to make that call. Grapple does not equal prone unless you're pinned.
Yep.
I got a
And
25.
pin is a special move that you can only do with a feat.
And that's a d8 plus 3d6. 5. Plus 6 more is 11. Plus 1 is 12. Plus 3 is 15 points of damage.
Plus.
Modifier.
Plus, oh, right. Plus 3 for my modifier. 18 points of damage.
You added that correctly.
He was so close to mathing today. Yes. High five.
Frank inspired him.
What?
You inspired Marcus with all your mathing.
Seeing the opportunity, Tuco draws his rapier and, in a very unswordsmanlike fashion, holds it in both hands and begins to stab Jack the Ripper style wildly into the thing as it's thrashing about with Jeel. The thing shrieks and begins thrashing even more. Black blood begins pouring forth from its chest. As Tuco plunges his sword into it, it is such a violent scene that one could almost be sympathetic to the creature. Who's next?
Jeel is up.
I'm just gonna maintain my grapple on it. 16.
You won the grapple, your grip on your full Nelson tightens, and you can hear the thing gasp as its head is being forced further to its chest.
Back to the top is Lovak.
Can Ku yell something out, or do I have to wait for initiative?
You can speak.
Cut the wings. As you hear, Ku yells, starts yelling, "Cut the wings! Cut the wings! Cut the wings!"
As he's tumbling head over teeth.
Yeah, but so is he, so he might be able to accurately see what's going on.
Lovak.
But I will hear him screaming it, and if it looks like a wing is flailing about,
Yeah, it's just tricky to get those wings. They're flapping fiercely. You can certainly try, but
then never mind. Since the head's back and wrenched forward, that leaves. Well, I can't see the back and neck. That's where your hands are. Never mind. I'm just going to go for center mass. Draw back both swords and swing. That's going to be, let's see, a 25 and a 26.
oh, those will hit.
10 points.
Lovak moves in as Tuco's stabbing at this thing, and Jeel's grip is tightening on it and begins hacking at it with his swords. The shrieks are now ear-piercing. The whole while this grappling match is going on, Ku is being dragged about the field. At one point in time, the combatants roll over him. Who is next?
I mistakenly went out of order. It should have been Moulet first.
It's all right.
We look so much alike, we're interchangeable.
Yes.
All right, so there's a lot going on here. What
Yeah.
do I think my chances are of striking the creature with a spell without hitting my companions? Pretty low.
I'd love
probably
to
at this
see
point.
it, though. Go ahead and roll him. This poor thing needs all the help it could get. If you could take one of them out for it, it'd make it a lot easier.
The brutality of the fight brings something up in me, and I stalk to the creature. Make that motion that Tuco is familiar with, and growl deep in my throat, and my hands turn to claws, and I slash it.
Tuco has a shiver down his spine. He is not a fan of this.
Yeah, it's only 16, so it's a miss.
Is that all for Lovak?
Is it prone? Do you
That's
have
it for
advantage?
Moulet.
Moulet.
He's not
That's right.
prone.
Yeah, we determined it wasn't.
The
Correct.
first of the sixes is Ku.
Ku, dizzy, getting dragged around, getting rolled up on, now knows the biggest threat to him is the rope. And he is going to try to cut the rope. 14.
As you're being dragged about, you manage to grab a hold of the rope, kind of using the weight of Jeel to pull yourself closer so you could grab enough of it in your hand to make a loop to begin hacking away at it. There is a deep look of concern on Ku's face as he's frantically trying to cut the rope. Jeel's got this thing wrapped up. Lovak and Tuco are hacking away at it mercilessly. Moulet is crouched menacingly with outstretched fingers with long black claws at the end, hissing and growling at it, fangs in his mouth dripping.
The second of the sixes is Shynn.
Shynn will interact with object and grab my useless mosquito netting, and while running up to the rolling around battle, twist it like a towel.
You gonna give him the shower snap, black room shower snap, attaboy?
No, I'm going to come running up and attempt to get that over its head.
Okay.
18.
18 will hit. The thing is thrashing about, and suddenly Shynn appears, net in hand, all twisted up like a towel ready to snap, and he drags it across the creature's face, leaning back on his heels and awkwardly causing the thing's head to snap back with its mouth open. It no longer shrieks, it makes this bizarre noise that only something that doesn't have full use of its mouth or tongue can make.
Next is GM.
I don't even know what to do, to be honest.
Try to break your grapple.
Right, yeah. That's from an action perspective.
I'm
yeah.
like, he reaches for his wallet. Here, just let me go.
Well, the question I have is he's actively grappled, and there are people actively stabbing at it. Would that affect advantage or not?
I would say no, only because there's so many people beating this thing down that it's hard to get an attack in without attacking or inadvertently striking another of your party. You guys are a bunch of savages. What's wrong with you? Oh, I forgot. Last episode. Now I know.
episode will explain exactly what's wrong with this.
Yeah, did kind of drop Shynn from the canopy.
Well, I rolled a 4. So, have at it, boys.
Well, it's a counter. Lou, you have to roll, right?
That's right.
He might roll a 1.
It is an
Yeah.
opposed grapple. That's correct.
20 what?
20.
Yeah, you won.
After GM Tuco, in his very unswordsmanlike swinging hacking motion, is noticed that this technique of swinging his sword is not working very well for him. He rolled a 10.
Watch, that's my leg.
There's just so many bodies in there that it's hard to not hit one of your party. Tuco brings his sword blade down, barely missing Jeel as the two begin another roll, but are stopped because there's that business with the hammock in the thing's mouth.
Last is Jeel.
I'm going to try.
Continue your grapple.
No. I'm going to try to wrench its mouth all the way back. So I want to grab it and then just pull.
Well, the mouth is already wrenched all the way back because there's a hammock, a twisted up hammock in the thing's mouth. So the top of its head is going one direction, and its lower jaw is staying put.
So I want to try to bring the mouth all the way back.
You could try to rip the lower jaw off.
Either or. Same effect. How do we do this?
This is all. You're in GM's call territory now because there is no rule for this sort of thing.
Says the rules.
I mean, I would say oppose athletics check because he's trying to use his strength to break the creature and the creature is trying to resist it.
Jesus Christ.
17.
Can you use a more in-theme character?
Oh my gods.
Blast!
No.
Jackals!
Chocolatte's asshole.
Excuse me, that'd been a 23.
Oh, all right. Show off.
Now that he found all his numbers.
That would be like a bare hand attack, I would imagine, for like 2 points.
Yeah, bare hand is 1 plus your strength modifier.
I keep thinking second edition
Yep.
rules.
Yep, unless you
points.
have Tap Brawler.
Jeel noticeably releases the full Nelson and puts his hands inside this creature's mouth. It probably would have bitten a few fingers off if it wasn't for the hammock that's in the mouth that is attached to the hands of Shynn, who's leaning back all of his slender weight so the thing can't close its mouth. Jeel reaches 2 meaty paws in the mouth, grabbing a hold of the teeth. You can feel the teeth begin to give way as he pries the mouth open in an awkward angle, kind of like when King Kong finished off that T-Rex, and the thing begins to thrash wildly. Claws slashing at the people around it, but unable to find their mark.
Moulet.
Look at Tuco, wink,
With your creepy face.
and then slash. Yep.
Was that a wink or a snarl? It's tough to
Yep.
make it out sometimes.
Long claws, teeth dripping, just the lightest bit of ichor down my face. There's a dirty 20 to hit. 11 points of acid damage.
Are you biting it or slashing it?
Slashing.
Creepy, but less creepy than a bite.
Tuco's still going to report him to HR for a hostile work environment.
You cock your arm back and slash at the creature, grabbing its throat and ripping it out as your hand passes by. A gout of thick black blood erupts from the creature's throat, and Moulet, all hunched over and bestial, turns over and looks at Tuco with a handful of bloody demon throat in his hand.
Tuco actually vomits a little bit. Doesn't keep it in his mouth. You can see him spitting vomit out.
The Ny'usi is dead.
I think we're done here.
I look over to Ku as he's still trying to get that rope cut and say, "Great plan, Ku."
Oh, the rope's been cut. Who's going to actually come over and examine the creature?
That was an amazing plan.
Yes. Well
Tuco's
played.
going to join the examination.
And
never
Ku's
seen
going to
it.
continue to bleed profusely.
You have never seen anything like this, ever. It's almost corpse-like, but was very much so alive. It's certainly not an undead
can't quite
creature.
bring
It is this tall, gaunt creature with black skin, no hair, almost ape-like feet that end in claws, hands similar to yours, just longer fingers with claws at the end. It has a thick brow ridge and deep-set black eyes and pointed ears, large, leathery, bat-like wings. It looks like it should be incredibly weak. It's just got a frail appearance, but from your experience, you know that's not the case. It's incredibly strong.
Tuco is inspecting for the points of attack to see if there's a delivery system or presence of poison.
Make a roll.
19 plus 1 for poisoners kit. 20. Sound fair?
None that you can tell. There doesn't appear to be any delivery system of poison. Checking claws and neck.
I'm going to put a hand on Ku's shoulder and transfer 5 points of laying in hand to stabilize him until he'll be administered a little bit more professionally.
The Lovak's ministrations are a relief.
And then I'll look at Jeel.
Jeel just stares back.
Are you hurt?
Well, his hands are bloody from reaching into the thing's mouth.
That's about it. I'm good.
Ku will administer a healer's kit to himself. Actually, I don't roll that. I roll this. And he heals himself back up to full.
Shynn comes crawling out from underneath the wings that landed on top of him as the creature died. Gives my mosquito netting a little yank out of the jaw and sees Ku and goes, "Oh, okay, be right there."
I'm all set now.
Oh, all set? Well, then you didn't need me anyways if it was that easy.
But thank you. And thank you, Lovak.
Well, at least let me do this. I'll press the digitation, your shirt clean.
Thank you. Won't fix the holes, but thank you.
Medic and mobile laundromat.
Yes, good plan. Cool.
We had to bring it down.
Well, we're getting close. It takes away some of the surveillance, and it's one less opponent we have to contend with while dealing with others up there. So
It was tougher than it looked.
As much as I might want to dissect this, I know we don't have the time, and there is a cottage that I did see in this field.
And several plants, gourds growing wildly.
well, I'm going to grab the ankles of this thing and ask Jeel to give me a hand. We're going to drag it at least into the wood line so it's not easily spotted.
Okay. Jeel is dragging his giant behind as he's tugging at this thing. He's got bags under his eyes that are a dark, dark blue. Just had a grappling match with a demon in the middle of a farmer's field while his buddies bum rushed it and beat the shit out of it, because that's really what it was.
You're just angry.
I will say we forgot because the narrative was so compelling during that fight, but Jeel should have had disadvantage on all of those grapple checks.
Yeah, that's right, too.
I mean, judging by how Scott's dice were rolling, it probably would not have mattered.
No matter what degree of disadvantage he had, it still would have probably not negated all the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and nothing above a 6 that I rolled that entire time.
Jeel will be the very first character ever blessed with the double disadvantage.
I do appreciate your attempt to build sympathy for the Ny'usi demon, though. Let's check out the gourds in the hut. Let's check it out.
Take a look.
Maybe take a little rest.
A little rest. He's a little worse for wear. We kind of
Yeah.
need him a little better than he is
Yeah,
now.
I think a short rest would be worthwhile. We
If
can-
he uses his hit points during a short rest, would that relieve his exhaustion? at all?
he needs a long. He needs a full night's sleep.
Needs a long rest. What time of day are we at? Noon?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, we started late.
I don't think we can waste the whole afternoon.
No,
We got to move forward till night at least.
we do.
Ku will break out his herbalism kit, look for the stimulants, mix something together for Jeel to give him a boost.
Let's
Coffee.
Let's get him coked up.
That's why I said coffee.
Here's our coked up barbarian giant.
I thought CGBB's closed.
Ku sets to mortaring and pestling a a few leaves that he found and hands you this wad of paste.
Could at least been chewing tobacco.
Well, if you want tobacco, you have to go to him.
No, I'll take yours.
Mine is at the strength that would make you nauseous.
You put it between the cheek and gums, and soon feel this rush of energy and a quickening of your heartbeat.
It was strychnine.
You are now poisoned.
You feel like you could go on for a few more hours. You're fatigued, heavily fatigued.
I think we'll be good.
All right, let's head back out.
Anything in the cabin? We looking in the door? Tuco goes and opens the door.
Checking out the fields. Well, knock first.
No.
He just
You guys who you're
strolls
talking
in.
to? No.
There's a large bit of furniture, looks almost like an armoire, a table, chairs, various cooking instruments. It doesn't look habitated. It looks like it's been abandoned a long time ago.
If I'm not breaking anybody's stuff, I'm going to turn the place over. Flip mattresses, open armoires, open jars.
The armoire looks almost like it was being used as a pantry. There's several clay jars in there with various items. You find honey and
I'll take that.
some dried fruit.
I'll take
and
that.
Moldy bread.
I won't take that.
But that's all you find that you think you could get away with eating.
All right. Something.
Ku will make his way around the garden, harvesting edibles and not those edibles, Lou. Any herbs that he might recognize.
There are quite a few of these softball-sized melons and other gourds out in the field that are just growing wildly.
And he'll make piles of them and alert the party members to them so that they may take what they want and put it in their own packs.
Yeah, I'll gather up some melons, other edible vegetables and things to
Replace what
supplement.
we've eaten from the other farm.
Of course.
And have a couple while we're here. At least cut a couple of them and eat them as we're hiking.
To go, that battle was invigorating.
Dude, that creepy face. I'm not a fan.
I
The
understand.
poison, you can see the poison is...
It's not poison.
What is it?
Acid.
Acid. Man. Can you make poison?
No. I understand why you like to get in close, though. There's something about it.
Oh, there's a thrill, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. This is the only job I've been able to get away with it in. And Tuco would continue that conversation as long as Moulet would keep talking about the thrill of close encounters that lead to death. Tuco is going to start to describe how he doesn't really want to kill people, but it's just such a rush.
And that's where we'll leave it this week.
Join us every other week as the Eve's Watch continue their adventures in Perth. Thank you to our patrons. Find us on Patreon to join the executive producers team and support the podcast. Our cast: Bill Robitaille, Louis Aponte, Frank Whedon, Jared Parker, Marcus Holt, Sin Morse, our DM, Scott, and me, Nova. Thank you, our listeners, for joining us every other week.